preparing and we are live. We're just setting up, and I'm so excited to start this series and let the setting up happen. That's my favorite part. Claudia, I've been doing 100 interviews and I just keep trying to figure out the setting part. And somehow, the minute the Facebook goes up, it starts speaking up somehow. So I think, yes, I don't know why. Like, I always think I've solved it and I just doesn't get solved. So, okay. I'm so excited. I've just sent messages for moms to come in. Mom Wives, a new podcast, live interview series is going to start from today onwards. The reason I'm bringing that is that as the project is progressing with 100 moms, so much is coming forth. I'm meeting so many people who must be brought out to support these 100 mothers and any kind of mothers across the world. And it's just uncanny that I'm just meeting more and more and more people who can help mothers understand so many things. And Claudia is one of them. And of course, my ears just went up the minute I heard the word womb energy. My ears were like really popping up. I was like, wow, now that's something that I would like the mothers to hear about. Claudia, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're the first person to be joining this with us. Nothing better than starting Mom Vibes, Voices for Mothers, than talking about the womb energy and of course all the work that you do. So thank you for accepting to be a guest here, and thank you for being the Kickstarter of this amazing series that's starting once a week. And all these will become a podcast, and soon the podcast link will be shared with all of you. Claudia, I always say people who live their stories or create their stories or do what they do, tell their stories the best. So I would stop here and I would let you take the stage, and please introduce yourself, what's your journey has been like, and then we'll keep taking questions as and when the spontaneous stuff comes in, while I look at the comments and give you some questions from the comments as well.
Amazing. I just want to also thank you so much for reaching out to me and giving me this opportunity to just come and speak about such a current topic of our times at the moment, and especially when it comes to feminine energy, the sacred feminine coming into our world, and just bringing back this balance that we so need in the world right now. So just a big thank you to you for opening this up and creating this space.
Thank you. And sorry, I'm just trying to, there's so many questions coming. Where's the link? So I was listening to you. If you thought I was distracted, my ears were with you, but I'm just trying to send the links because many moms need to hear you and which should not be missed. So while that and viewers will be listening to you, please carry on, and I'm listening to you, just putting this link right there for them so that they can join us live right now.
Yeah, totally. Do that. So a little bit about myself. I'm Claudia Markovic. I'm an energy mentor, an intuitive healer, and a Qigong trainer. And a lot of Qigong is my main tool to work with energy so that people can actually themselves change their energetic body. And now the energetic body is nothing woo-woo. It's scientifically proven that we have this energetic body. And so that's kind of where my journey began. And then as I was on this journey, I started meeting people, joining groups where feminine energy, womb energy was a huge topic. And I just started to, this passion inside of me started to burn, it basically, once I understood that our trauma isn't just about this lifetime, it's about thousands and thousands of years. They estimate historically the oppression of women started about 8,000 to 10,000 years ago. And that we carry all of that in us. And so if you're afraid to use your voice or voice your opinion, or maybe you want to play small, or just those things, yes, it could be from this lifetime and from the experiences you've had now, but there's also a whole range of like encoded programming in our DNA from centuries and centuries ago as well, added to that. So women were burnt at the stake because we were witches, you know, and so it wasn't safe. The patriarchy and the ruling parties of the time wanted to split women so that we would be split in our power, because people who come together are obviously stronger than if you can divide them. And so all of this kind of, I don't know, that landed for me. I just thought, wow, I've got to be involved in this work as well. This is part of my mission on earth, to also heal that within my body, but also to help other people and women to heal it in their body as well, and also be connected to their womb, because that's where it starts, really. Exactly.
Yeah, for me, I'm so fascinated, like with the conversation that we had, and if the womb energy is not necessarily if you've birthed children, that energy is there as we are women, and it could also be there otherwise in anybody. The womb energy
That's
is
right.
there, and we need to acknowledge it and connect to it, and so basically that's where the roots are. And am I getting stuck? No.
Not this end.
Okay. I thought I was getting stuck. So just to, because we are all moms, right? And and when I started this project, of course, when I started and where I've reached now, it's totally moved from where I started it almost a year back. And it's amazing that suddenly after a year, I'm starting another series of interviews now. I don't know where this is going to reach 100 episodes down the lane. But for sure, what I've understood is, you know, the judgment not against women, or also against mothers that we generally have. This is, and mothers have it for themselves that we are not good mothers, we are not this mothers. This mother is a better mother. This mother is not a better mother. How can she leave? How can she do this? How can she work? She not work? How can she not dream? Not dream? So much going on for mothers all the time, and the juggle that sometimes is so real. And whatever she feels for her child, connected, disconnected, guilty, I also felt somewhere came not only from just after becoming a mother. It was also like accumulated, either from our present life and now the talking to you could be at a cellular level being collected for thousands of years of however we felt. And would you like to talk about that? Would you like to talk about that when you work with mothers, especially, this whole thing that circles around them from the society, and it's amazing. It's all over the world. Mothers are also highly under microscopic, judgmental viewpoint all the time. So, do you feel that that adds the trauma, or that comes from earlier life, or earlier parts of our this thing, just because
Mm,
it is womb energy again, right? And there's so much
yeah.
disturbance sometimes happening all the time in a mother's life, whether things are going good, whether things are going bad, but it is a very shaky place, and I'm a mom of very young kids, so I find myself in a lot of shaky situation. So what do you have to say about that
Mm.
when it comes to womb energy?
Yeah, so there are two things I want to say. I'm just kind of letting it drop into my body. This is part of the work that I do as well, that of just to often drop into your body first and then kind of feel what's coming from that place. So there was a historical note that I just want to, okay, well, maybe that one will come back. So let me start by saying that when I do the energy work, we focus on 3 centers: the body, the heart, and the mind. The mind in the sense of your intuition, your higher self, like, and it's often that we're connected very easily to our intuition or the mind, the monkey mind, definitely. Like we have, like, if I ask you to think something, you can go there straight away, right? If you quiet your mind, you can almost like also imagine, okay, I don't, some people may not think they have intuition, but for those of us who do, we can connect to that, and we kind of understand that. Most of us can also connect to emotions, right? And but we often disconnect from the body, which is kind of in our pelvic floor, which is basically the womb energy we're talking about, right? And like if you become conscious of your day, you will notice your energy is mostly here. Even our breathing, we tend to breathe up here, right? Don't take it all the way down into the belly, into our womb, like actually breathing from our womb. So I can imagine for mothers, bringing that element of grounding, coming back to your pelvic floor, that center of creation, you birth a child from this place, you know? It's a center of knowing as well. Like the womb knows everything. According to a book that I read, Womb Awakening by Ezra Bertrand, and her husband, I think. The womb is a hologram of the universe. And so if we're disconnected from that, it brings in this scattered energy. It brings in this doubt because we haven't connected to this root, our source of confidence and knowing. So if you're disconnected from that, you can imagine you're just being ruled by these emotions and your thoughts. Your thoughts are creating your emotions. I just learned that from my coach 5 minutes ago. She was talking about this. You know, our thoughts create our emotions. And but even so, if we're just connected up here and being led by this space, you can already feel how it's just floating, right? If we drop into the body and just take a moment and just invite everybody right now, wherever you are, place your hands over your womb, take a deep breath and guide that breath right down into your womb, all the way into your yoni. Move it down all the way past, let that energy flow into your feet. See that your yoni is actually connected to your feet, your roots, but the center is actually in the pelvic floor itself. And a lot of my work is about then just sensing what's there. My business is called Spiral into Magic, and it's about spiraling into your magic. But the word spiral has got many different connotations. On the one hand, there's energy movement. And on the other hand, it also means when energy workers speak about like spiral your energy, it actually means sense what's there for you. Sense what's there. And yeah, so that's kind of the part I wanted to share. about helping mothers to kind of ground. And a great place to start is to start relaxing your womb area, even speaking, greeting your womb. That's the place to start, because we hold a lot of tension in our pelvic floor without even knowing it. As women, we're told, oh, suck it in, you got to have a flat tummy, none of this hanging, letting it all hang out, and letting the energy flow there. And so I love also doing spirals with my clients just to activate that energy as well. Yeah, historically, I think, there was a lot of change throughout history. We went through this oppressive time where women didn't have a voice. Then we had a lot of, then there was a period where women started to stand up for themselves. We had the whole feminist movement. Then there was this, yes, you can live out your dreams. And I think then there's this tornness between, oh yes, I want to live out my business. And I think here you do amazing work. I want to live out my dream, but I also want to have a family. And how do these two come together? Because having a family is also, it's like having a business, right? It takes about as much time.
Yeah, just right now, like my younger one has just come in and sat right next to me. And I want to take this here because there's some moms watching, and Debbie is there saying that spiraling, your name of the spiraling into magic is amazing. Mamansa was asking how many years ago did she say the oppression of women started? But before that, let's just take this because it's a new concept for many people to hear the connection, and we want to right now focus on the womb energy part. And the minute you said that it has the knowing, something, yeah, it doesn't matter. We can't use this, Papa. We'll have to do something else, okay? I need to go outside. Okay, please go outside. Go to Papa. Thank you. Sorry. So, I was just told today by somebody that stop saying sorry when your children are around because you're heading a mother's movement. And I don't know, I just keep saying sorry because it just keeps. So anyway, what I was talking about was that you have, like, it's the knowing. And suddenly a penny dropped in my head. It was that, of course, it knows everything if it's created everything, right? And of course, how can we get disconnected to the womb like this and feel that that part of our body doesn't need everyday reminder of what it is, because that's where the source of creation is. And that's where, like, it just dropped when you said that it has the knowing. And when I had my first kid, I was told by a doctor that when you become a mom, um, there is a whole encyclopedia that's dropped inside of you the minute you birth a child. So you don't need any more, you don't need to know when your child is sick. You don't need to know when your child needs what it needs. Like, whatever the child needs or the baby needs, you exactly know it. It's just you need to follow it up. And while raising my own kid, I realized that when the world told me, I think you're just overreacting, the baby's absolutely okay. Actually, there was a very emergency situation he had to be in breathing. And when I was not overreacting and I was just like, I think he's fine, people around me used to start overreacting, saying, I just think that you're not taking this seriously, he's really sick, and next morning he would be absolutely okay. So I just think that knowing that you're speaking about is what we need to connect, and what this whole project will connect back, and the mother pulse that I'm talking about, that the pulse is there to guide us. So just because I want to keep these interviews short and very focused, if when you work with mothers at the present and you're saying there is a torn between both the worlds, I see it most common now, heading a mother's movement. There is, I want to live my dream, I want to create my dream, but I want to raise children, and it's just too much to deal with that. And to be able to bring this series now out slowly, I will start getting experts to talk about that. But that being torn, is also discouraging many women to also want to birth children sometimes, because it is a very overwhelming situation to be in. Like, I find myself in a lot of overwhelm all the time. So when you want to deal with that and you want to tell women about how to get rooted and to be okay to balance this out, because it's not easy. It's not easy to balance, to go for your dream full out and to go for your children full out. Usually it's either or, and to do it together is a task, and that's what I'm trying to do through this project. So what would you say to those mothers who would like any exercise or anything that you would like them for the daily thing they must do, so that they connect and they don't have this overwhelm? And the audience, thank you for listening to it. This is the first this thing. We will bring Claudia again in. They just, my son is not keeping so well, so he keeps coming in, and I just keep breaking the energy thing with Claudia. But it's still going strong, and thank you for joining in. So let me just give some nugget to the moms that this all the time, this juggle and this being torn apart, and like trying to figure out a way and do courses to then balance it out. Like, how do you, it's just too much. What do you say to those moms?
So when I work with people and we go through an actual Qigong series, and you start to feel into your energy and you start to feel into your flow, I always, and I've had moms with babies, they can't be fully present in the actual exercise. I always tell them, that's okay. Like, when you're connected to your energy, that doesn't mean all life stops around you. We don't need to be in a Zen place to experience life, to create, to, life still happens. It's also being connected to that energy whilst you're doing your thing, right? And flowing with that energy. So when the baby then wakes up, or it's crawling around, and then maybe the mom needs to go and pick it up because it's not in a safe place, or I always say, that's cool, just go for it, do it. But if you can picture this energy bubble around you, like if you have a moment, I don't know if you ever have a moment to just like do a 2-minute meditation, or just to drop into your womb, take a breath, feel that energy, and then feel into that energy, but then take it with you. Let it expand, let it include your child, let it include your business. Not like, okay, now I'm in my Zen spot and now I leave the energy behind and now I'm busy with my work, right? This is and this is the cultivation piece about cultivating this energy. It's like tending to a garden. It's not like a once-off thing. A garden also needs attention, and you don't just like sow the seeds and that's it, finish. Now I get on with my life and I just hope for the best. And I don't know, you go and check on the garden, you go and check on the soil, and I think this compartmentalizing, or trying only to just do one, okay, now I'm meditating, oh, now I'm working on my business, oh, now I'm working on my energy, instead of like seeing that all of that is actually connected in our lives and it's part of a creative process that we experience on this planet. I went hiking this weekend, and we're losing a lot of forest at the moment in Germany because of a beetle that's just killed a lot of trees, because they have a monoculture, and so loads of forests or dying. But at the same time, as this one forest is dying, the new forest is already rising underneath. And it's just doing it. It's just doing its thing. And if you can just relax. I know that's maybe really hard to take in. Maybe there's some resistance, like, relax, you're asking me to relax, but just in the sense of like, feel into that flow. Take the judgment away out of situations. Just be the observer sometimes. Allow the experience to unfold. And that's really one of the key things. This unfolding is a really feminine way of living life, allowing things to unfold. We're so conditioned to think in a masculine, I've got a goal, I'm setting it, I'm going to just hustle and push and move in one direction. But if you can understand that feminine energy is also about, I have my desire to have a family and a business or career. I don't know how it's going to happen,
Yeah,
but I trust that it's going to unfold.
yeah, I saw that message of yours that let your dream unfold, and I totally needed to hear that because, the whole rush of wanting to for your dream to come true, you just start juggling, and then you start, and this is the mothers movement, and this is mom voices for mothers. So we will try to wrap it up in another 5 minutes because I don't want podcasts to go longer. But what you just said again made so much sense of one connecting all together. The two, a gift that you've given is that, like, you like, it's not zen, it's not that you suddenly zen and then you suddenly go here, and I think that's exactly what all of us are doing. We go for our runs, we go for our morning walks, and we go everything, and then we become this zenish kind of a person, and then we hit back home, and then we suddenly, like, now we're mothers or our businesses or our work, and then we go there, and then we all forget about the energy that we collected and just throw it out of the window because, oh, I have tomorrow morning again to do it, so I'll do it tomorrow morning. So the day, yeah, it's good, but we're not connecting it. And what brings to me the whole thing is that, why not bringing that zen to your children? And it's a task. It's a lot of pieces to move together, and that's why this movement is slowly growing, because I want to bring this. I am I don't want to use the victim, but I am in a situation all the time with an overwhelm, and just the, like, involving your children, letting them come in. I've had this with you. I was having a conversation, the kids just lose it, and you just go. I've learned not to be internal, like on my verbally I'll say sorry, but internally I'm not apologetic if my child had to shut down some, like, because of his need or what he needs, I have to shut down something right now. But we start to feel like losers when we're shutting down constantly. Things are not working at the pace it should, the way our dream needs to reach. And then we start to get very vulnerable. And then, of course, we bring it to our children, and this whole juggling and spiral. So it can't be Zen is another gift that I take from here when you're talking about that. It can't be all Zen. And it needs to get connected to our day-to-day lives, and it can't be a compartmentalized kind of living. And this there is, the mothers are struggling with, you know yes, thousands of years back probably there was oppression, but now independence has been restored in many, some, I can't say many because many women still are getting there, but once your independence is restored, and then you feel the independence, and then you go back to the world of children, and then suddenly there is so much, like, pull and push, and when will we come out, or we'll never come out, or we'll sat there. It's so real that I think when you say connect back to your womb energy, look for the answers, cultivate it, like cultivate it. And the fact that when you said when one forest is going down, the other one is coming up. So maybe a part of you is going down, but the other part of you is coming out. So the rising part can be acknowledged and brought up and respected and honored. And that's the work. And I suddenly feel standing here that we must do something to bring this to women as a free resource sometimes, that they can learn to cultivate it and to believe in the rise and not look at the fall, and then integrate it. I already talking this sounds like so many pieces. So just before we leave, Claudia, so this is what I've got out of it. And do you think that this is the direction to go? And if one thing that you want to tell everybody, Mawansa is there. We lose trust in our own abilities. Absolutely, dreams unfold. Mawansa, Claudia was talking um, about I think who's the person you were talking about? And they said, don't rush, don't put the accelerator on your dream. And Lucy, you will love this, because don't put the accelerator on your dream. Let it unfold, let the magic unfold. And suddenly, I sometimes feel I'm trying to put an accelerator on this dream of 100 mothers coming together. And then I'm like, okay, let me enjoy the unfolding of it since I've heard that. So yes, we lose trust in ourselves, and we need to cultivate it, what Claudia was talking about. So Claudia, what is one thing that we can do to cultivate the womb energy connection that would you like to say? I know there's so much to talk and you're very intuitive, and this conversation can go on and we can keep unfolding many aspects. But if one thing we need to talk about as something that we must do to bring these pieces together and cultivate it in a way that even though a small step can bring a lot of change, what would that be?
So, of course, there are like deeper ways of going into this, but the very first step, I think, is just to connect with your womb, place 2 hands just like this onto your womb area. Take a moment, 30 seconds, just feel and relax. Totally just relax that area and just feel what's there. Like that first step alone will open up so much for you. And it's not a drastic journey. It opens up slowly. It opens up at the pace that you're ready to open up, right? But just connect to that. Then from there, connect body, heart, and spirit. Just feel into all of those senses, connecting all of them. Just notice that when you're walking and you think about it, just place a hand on your womb for a moment, or just breathe. Just like, right, I've got this root, I've got this pelvic floor, I've got my yoni, I've got my womb. Like, what is there? Become curious about it. We don't have all the answers because we've been so disconnected from this for so long. So here's a great place to practice allowing it to unfold for you. And the way it unfolds for you, Shika, and for me, and for the mothers, each individual mother in this group is going to be different. Yeah. Like I promise you, it's going to be unique. I don't even want to tell you what's going to come up, because in my experience, it's just different for every single one of us.
Yeah. And I already somehow talking about it and just talking about it for 40 minutes about womb energy. I'm actually feeling a flutter right now, and that flutter is going to my heart. I don't know if it's out of excitement, but I can feel the flutter and the connection already in some way. And I like, for me, the curiosity will start now from here, a journey that you said it has the knowing. Of course it has the knowing. That's what's like dawned on me. Of course it's there, that the knowing is there. That's how they know how to create that creation that they create. Like, that's exactly where all the science is holding on to make the baby. How does it happen? I mean, like, how does such an obvious thing is something that we're so disconnected with? Like, like we are in awe of how does a baby come from it, and how does a baby's replica, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 feet, 1 head, 2 ears. I mean, how is it happening? It's happening because there is an encyclopedia right there which opens up and starts to create with all the knowing that it knows, and creates the heart and creates the vibe and creates everything. Of course it knows it. And I'm just saying that of course again and again because of course it knows it. And how are we not trusting it? That when and how are we not trusting the creation that's coming out of it, including our children? Like they just know at a very young age what they want, what they don't, what it is, what's right, what's wrong. How do we think that we know it better when they are the ones who are closest to that womb in their early stages and not? So thank you so much for coming on and introducing me to this for sure. And this is the series that'll kick off with some interesting people coming up. And I am going to take some wonderful journey myself because I'm going to put myself as an example out there for many guests who are coming up with situations so that people can relate to it and then open up and talk about it. Um, yeah, and Mawansa is saying, Lucy is there. Thank you, Claudia, for the work you do. And Mawansa is saying, I love, it is not a drastic journey, it opens up slowly. Mawansa was my first mother in the book. So first mother is available in the comments today, the first interview of Mom Wife. So that's amazing. And Mawansa is also, she's overall a very motherly person. So I think she definitely needs to connect to her womb because she's a mother figure to many, many people in her work. And Mawansa, so here is another thing for you. Last time it was Positive Pride. I'll give you now. Claudia is there. Please connect to her group. Her group is called Spiral on Magic. Spiral with Magic.
Spiral. Yeah. So the Spiral into Magic. The
Spiraling
group.
into Magic. I will
Yeah.
be putting the link for Spiraling into Magic. Connect to Claudia. It is. It's just a very small part of what Claudia does that we're talking, but because we are mothers, we must talk about it. And what we've learned is it's a small part, but it's an important part to start connecting to it, to start feeling where everything lies. Before leaving, Claudia, would you like to say something?
I just want to say thank you so much. It's been so wonderful to speak to everyone here. Keep trusting yourself, your inner guidance. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Keep trusting yourself. Connect all 3 centers. Become aware of just small moments to connect to your womb again. And I'd love to know what you're learning when you go through this process. I'd just love to know. Like, I'm sure you can find me on Facebook.
Yeah, I'll be putting the links. I will be putting the links, and we will start some process because what's coming to me is that's the need, the connecting dots of mothers. Now, mothers, once children have left, mothers to be, mothers who are bonus moms, all kinds of mothers that we have need this connecting source to the womb. And that's the mother pulse that came to me when I started all the interviews, that there is a mother pulse, and that's the womb energy that you're talking about. It came to me as a mother pulse. And I just want to, because there's Sarah Live, who's also like, I'd really adore Sarah as well. I adore all my moms, but Sarah is also very special to me. And where, like, for me right now, it looked like a slow talk, but there is so much rising that I can't tell you. That the talk about the forest dying, something rising, unfolding of the dreams, knowing is right there. I mean, these are some things that need to be heard again to be able to understand that we are spiraling into magic. That's like so beautiful. It just comes back to what you're saying. We are spiraling into a magical world, and it's all magic. And this is my recent learning as well. It's all magic. I suddenly have started to see magic around me, and I don't know why I keep saying this again and again, but it is, of course, the womb knows everything. It has the knowing, and I'm excited to know that today I acknowledge it. formally in an interview that of course the room knows everything because everything originates from there. Mawansa is saying you're always connecting us to the truth. Thanks, Mawansa. That's my job now. Some more people are coming in the coming. I'm just writing letters and I'm finding people who are going to give us all the nuggets that they need if it can help even one mother somewhere. We've done our work because the vibration and the frequency has started with this project. It's just the beginning. And we all are coming together in November. I don't know whether Mawansa knows this, but I had announced November 10 to 13 are the only 3 dates available this year for the place I want to host 100 Moms. And we never know, we get Claudia there, she comes up and she's doing a workshop with us there. We don't know who are joining us, why Mom Vibes have started, where we are headed, just the first episode. Many things coming together and holding hands. So Claudia, thank you so much to wanting to speak to us about womb energy. And I will be putting your links, and spiraling into magic is beautiful. Thank you so much, Claudia.
Thank you.
So Rishi, how do we trust ourselves at the point of brokenness? Okay, we need to answer this to Mawansa before we leave.
Can you just repeat the question again? How do we trust ourselves?
At the point of brokenness.
Yeah. So this is a really, really good question, and it's not one to just gloss over. And I also want to say, like, if you have experienced any trauma in your life, like, that's not to be taken lightly, and it needs to also have like a professional person, like a psychologist, or to really work with you on that trauma. Because, and I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into the question, but if you're unable to get out of the brokenness, I just feel like there's something deeper, there's a deeper dive to go in there. And it's a journey that I've been on myself. And with every new experience, at least from my experience, every new experience, you can go back into a similar cycle of feeling this brokenness. And so I just would say, be very gentle on yourself there, because often as well, it's not just you also have like outside inputs. I don't know if there are like voices around you either confirming the brokenness and not supporting you. Like these are questions I just love to know. And maybe if you want, we can just have a conversation, reach out to me in a DM, and we can have a one-to-one conversation. I'm happy to go deeper on this question, because it's got so many different angles to look at it. And some roads are not easy to walk, but what I teach and what I practice with my clients is soften into it. We don't want to say, oh no, this isn't hard. No, sometimes things are really hard, but is there a way to still breathe in those moments, to still feel the feeling? And this is great. Like Shika, like one of the first things you ever said to me was the importance of community. And so often we want to do it alone as well. Like that's the other piece, that we often isolate ourselves. And I mean, we can go into the sister wound here as well. Like that's a topic on its own. But if we get over the sister wound and we understand that we actually have power together, don't underestimate what I'm trying to say. Don't underestimate the power of community as well. a supportive community, one that understands, like, I don't need to judge you in this. I can actually support you and let you feel all your emotions, let those emotions through. Like, I can see you in your brokenness right now, and you are still enough, and you are still perfect, and you're still a perfect creation. And I love you anyway in this situation, right? There's a power in that as well, which we are slowly starting to remember.
Right. And that's why movement like this are getting so much. That's why I keep telling people it's not me. I was just meant to take it ahead and start it. It's just creating on its own because there was a need in the universe to create this, and it is creating on its own. And thank you so much for being so gentle and trying to answer my answers, because this will answer many people's brokenness. And we are like, there are moments that what I have learned is that, again, brokenness is only part of you. It's not the whole of you. And sometimes we just think that that brokenness is the whole of us, and we cannot operate because it's the whole of us. It is a part of us, and it is right there with something that needs to be dealt with, the way you said, with community, with gentleness towards ourselves, and many other things, and to accept. But also we need to remind ourselves that we have complete whole parts of us which are flourishing. Like you just said, the forest is dying, but there's a forest that's growing, and those parts will move us ahead. So trust in the parts also that are complete, which I mean in our lives, and they will take us forward. Sometimes just our children are so complete, and we are broken, but our children are so complete. They're part of us. They can make us believe that life is pretty good, and then we can hold that and move forward, and then look at different parts. So that's what I would love to give big hug to Mawansa for this and say, we're broken, but we're together, and I hope this helps. Claudia has been gracious to say you can reach out to her, and from there on, you can have a journey with her if you wish. But Claudia is she's a gentle person who will deal with it. So womb, energy, connection, and the knowing is my biggest takeaway from here, because suddenly I just know even more than I think I knew connecting to this project. And thanks for showing up the way you do, and thanks for also sending that message 4 days back on your live, saying, let the dream unfold, let the magic unfold. There's no way to put an escalator on your dreams, because the magical part is the unfolding of it. And that's just made me even more connected to this, because now it's become magical and adventurous for me. I'll keep announcing great things, but I'll just take it one thing at a time and let it unfold. Thank you, Claudia. We must wrap up from here. Thank you, Mawansa, for being there. And thank you for both of you. Mawansa here, Sarah is here, that you all decided to join this journey and just trust it. And we are going to lock arms on that hilltop that I've talked about, and there will be a drone picture taken of all mothers who met online, locking arms and creating that launch. See you. So connect to Claudia, Mawansa. Connect to Claudia. It'll be amazing. Take care. I will go off, and then let's just take it off. Thanks, Claudia, so much. I'll put the links for your group right there.
Thank you.